I forget to do the blooming audio setting on the picture on YouTube. So you can't hear a thing. You didn't hear any of that, did you? Anyway, I'll do it again. So this bloke has got blueberry waffles. Okay? And he's looked around for these waffles. Oh, this is getting ridiculous. Am I just not concentrating tonight? What is it? Planters. Hang on a minute. I've got to put something else in here now. That there. That there. That there. I think what's happened is that the fact that the camera wasn't there at the beginning of the night has completely thrown me. There we go. That's it. So they can hear me now. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, dear me. Right. I'll start the bleeding story again, shall I? Yes. There we are. That's better. Now they can't see me. I tell you what, one more thing's going to go wrong and I'll pack up and go and watch the telly tonight. Dear me. It's not like doing the radio show. It's so simple doing a bit of audio here, a bit of audio there. Once you put pictures in and try and shove pictures, and then that's when it all starts going terribly wrong, dear. No one could hear me while that picture of the waffle was up. You know, which I noticed before people started shouting at me, we can't see anything. If they have, because I'm not looking at the chat box at the moment. Far too busy, dear. Far too busy. Right, so the Daily Star is reporting on a story this morning, and we were talking about breakfasts and things like that and what you have for breakfast. And I have generally bran flakes, fruit and bran type thing. Bran flakes with chopped up raisins and I don't know what else is in there. And bananas, and I chop up a fresh apple when I put my own blueberries on the top there, right? So I generally have that every morning, except this morning where I had porridge with chopped up apple and chopped up blueberries, which I put in it myself, right? Anyway, this bloke has decided to open his packet of blueberry waffles. Okay, so there he is. He's sitting there looking at these blueberry waffles and thinking, oh, they look very nice. Anyway, the Daily Star is reporting on that. It's always important to make yourself breakfast, whether it's cereal or some toast. I mean, these people that, and you must have heard them, oh, I don't have breakfast, it makes me feel sick. How can it make you feel sick? There must be something mentally wrong with you then, dear. Oh, no, I can't eat breakfast. Very important to eat breakfast. Just because you're fat, probably breakfast is the worst thing you can knock out. Unless, of course, you're eating 10 bags of cheese and onion crisps for breakfast. Good evening, Dan Woodhouse, you know. Anyway, it says here, opting for pastries is popular, and even foods like pancakes or fry-ups often go down a treat. And I always recommend, if you ever go to America, go to Denny's for breakfast and have a stack of pancakes. Covered in maple syrup. Like that they are. Great big stack of them. When I took my nephew there about 7 or 8 years ago now, we did go to Denny's one morning for breakfast. Oh my God. And this he couldn't eat it all. Eyes are bigger than the belly, aren't they? Mind you, mine were like that this afternoon. Very, very bad. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I threw food away this afternoon. Now look at all these people here, knowing that I never throw food away, making a little mental note at that so that they can bring it up another time. And there are sad people out there that do that. They trawl through people's web pages and things like that, looking for a little thing there to attack them with. So people will have made a note of what I just said then, in the hope that they can bring that about a later date and attack me with it and finish with the sentence LOL. And I look at it and you think you know. I threw food away today and it was chips. And I keep doing this. I do too many chips in the air fryer. Because the trouble is, you put the air fryer on, you do its warm up for 5 minutes, right? And then you get your bag of chips out, and I got expensive chips today, McCain. Oh, I pushed the boat out, dear, because I was in Sainsbury's the other day. And I thought, I can't be bothered to go down to the go down to Aldi today, so I just bought them while I was in Sainsbury's. Great big bag of McCain oven chips, and you kind of you cut off the top and you pour them in, and you look, and you think, don't look like there's enough there. So you pour some more in, just another cup, and then a few more. And then you put the thing on. And now and again, you shake it like a shaker maker. Who remembers that toy from Christmas times? Shaker maker, exactly. Stop being so impatient. I'll read your messages in a minute. Stop being impatient. So, I've shook this thing a few times, and then after about 15 minutes, I put my Audi battered sausages in. Yes, please, mummy. We like that very much. So I did that, and then, of course, I've put the vegetables in the microwave, frozen vegetables in there, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. I made my cup of tea, watched a bit of telly, came back in, and then the air fryer's done, and then you get the plate, and it was a big plate. I'm not kidding you. Half the plate had chips on it. It was the most enormous portion of chips. I thought, my God, how many have I done here? And the battered sausages came out and the vegetables, so I took them in the room and I had the chips and the battered sausages. I always make sure I finish all the vegetables, always. But with these chips left on the plate, and I don't know how many there would have been, about 15, I reckon. 15, I could not eat them. And I sat there and thought, how on earth do I keep doing it? And then, of course, it's so easy, isn't it? It's so easy to sort that out. Next time, I'll get the plate, put the frozen chips on the plate. I'll know then how many I've put in the damn machine. Put the frozen chips on the plate, just there, and then put them in the fryer. It'd probably take half the amount of time as well. And the battered sausages and all that business. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, back to this very, very important story. This bloke who had the blueberry waffles. It says, now, this is in the Daily Star today, okay? There's one bloke here. Waffles are a popular staple for breakfast and can come in many forms, whether chocolate or fruit. Not chocolate waffles, not in the morning, come on. It's bad enough these people stuffing their mouths with Cocoa Pops. Cocoa Pops, spinning tops, Cocoa Pops, that one, yeah. Right, it says, an anonymous user thought he was having a blueberry-flavoured waffle which had actually gone off. And they weren't blueberry at all. It was mould. He was eating mouldy waffles. Have you ever done that? He said, after eating 2 of these blueberry waffles, I went to heat up some more and saw the package was plain waffles. And he had actually eaten mould. Oh, my God. Now, is that dangerous at all? Or is it just like penicillin? You know, do we have any doctors in the house tonight? Oh, just a moment. There's something else I haven't done today. One moment. There we go. Is there a doctor in the house? Doctor in the house. Ba-da, 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 ba-ba, ba-ba, ba-ba. That one. Eh? Is it dodgy to eat those? I've got to be honest. There are times, and you know, sometimes blueberries can suddenly turn off, can't they? Yeah? And I've done it myself where I put some blueberries on top of my things and you're eating your breakfast and you think, no, they taste mouldy. And they kind of go like a bleachy taste, don't they? Awful. Excuse me, I've still got a bit of a cough. Awful. Poor old bloke eating mouldy blueberries. Right, I've got some things to try tonight, actually. I've got behind me, talking of food, a very, very nice gift as given to me by Oliver and his mate at the pub last week. All right, I have been given 2 Easter eggs this year. One by Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning, who's probably with us tonight somewhere. And also this one here from Oliver and his mate. And I shall be sampling it very, very shortly, live and exclusively on this programme tonight. Once again, if you're on TikTok, we're in a different view tonight because I've mucked up the camera on there. It's not working, so I'm not looking directly at you tonight. All right, my loves? All right, so I'll come to you. I can see you, or I will be able to see your messages when you're doing that. Okay, so let's just read some of your messages this evening. Good evening, Mark Bowles, first in today on the text. Hello, Mark. Hello. All right, I'm very, very well, Mark. Very, very well. I'd be so much better if you were only here, holding my hand gently through life's tasks. Evening to you. Good evening to the lovely Shania. Evening, Shania. If you want to send us a text number up there, okay? 07451 287 337 is my text number, right? Don't be shy on there. Where should we start on here? Just a moment now. Let's see where we are. I'll go down the bottom there. Evening to Gary Butler. Project Man is in the house. Good evening, Gary. head of YouTube, head of caravan maintenance, and head of archery as well. Good evening to you, Gary. Evening to Mr. Gary Ross. Evening to John Parrish. Oliver from the karaoke. That's right, yeah. It's lovely. It's enormous. Look. Oliver's probably there tonight somewhere, quietly sitting on the side. He doesn't always join us in the chat box. Look at that. This is a big egg. Oh, we do like a big one, Mark, don't we? I hope you're not going to disappoint me whenever that's going to happen. Thank you. Good evening to Daniel Woodhouse, who says, you thought... oh, no, you're talking to each other now. This is where it gets complicated. Good evening to Tommy Hanlon. Hello to you. I'll just do the names. I think that's easier, wouldn't it? What happened with that fella's waffles? Well, they were mouldy, mate. Evening to DJ Liam in the house this evening. Evening to MPOTW. Evening to you, sir. Let's just block that one. There we go. Where's the old what's it called? Where's the moderators tonight? You've missed that one, haven't you? Aye? You missed that one. MPOTW. Evening to Peter Remington. Good evening to you. Daniel had a smoked salmon and cheese omelette this morning. Oh, that sounds nice. If only I could afford salmon, dear. How much benefits do you get? You know, me and poor Vera here, scrimping and saving so that we can keep the lights on here. Isn't it? Talking of which, if you want to send a tip, that's how you do it. Evening to Rob Kershaw this evening. Good evening to you, sir. All right. Dave Weston in the house this evening. Evening to Dave. Where else are we going? Mick Davenport. We've done that one. I think we're all like There we go. Just scrolling up nice and quickly there. I think that'll do us, won't it? There we are. I reckon that'll do us. I think we're through that there. And we've done the... Did I do the text? I think I did the text. Mark Bowles will hold anything I want. Thank you very much. No, that's something I never really did, actually, Mark, to be honest. I think I got rid of it before it got to that stage. Do you know what I mean? I never kind of woke up like that. I always got rid of it before. Yeah, so that's how it is. Anyway, there we are. And over there on the ticker-tocker-tock, DJ Sparky, hot cross buns, nice with custard. No, you're joking, aren't you? Hot cross buns and custard? No, dear. Hot cross buns with butter. That's it. It's like when I was in the co-op the other day. I went in there for jam donuts. He tried to sell me chocolate donuts. And what's the other thing? Custard donuts? No, dear. No, jam donuts. Hot cross buns should not have custard on them. Awful. Evening to Jamie Plant. Welcome to the show, Jamie. Thank you, Shania, there, darling. There's Vera this evening. There's George Bond. Evening to you. DJ Sparky likes a full English on Sunday. I used to do it on Saturdays, actually. Years ago, when I lived in Wandsworth in my flat there. And he has Cocoa Pops. Oh, no. No Cocoa Pops. Hello to Christina Hunt. Hello to you, darling. All right. Jason says you should have kept the chips for later. No, thank you. No, I'd had enough chips. In fact, I got a bit of acid trouble this evening due to having too many chips. That's one of those things. Good. And hello to Mark Jones. Welcome as well to you, Mark. Evening to Fran Green. And Mark says, oh, yeah, absolutely. Do you still do that? Do you still do that? How often? How often, my darling? Do let us know, Mark. Good. So that's that. Now, shall I have this now or shall we carry on? Shall we wait till a little bit later? There's OE. Good evening, OE. Thank you very much. Hello to OE. Shall I have this now or shall I wait a little bit? Shall we hold on a little? Don't let me forget to eat it, though. Well, I'm not going to have the whole thing, just a little bit. Oh, Christ. I also got this given to me. Am I allowed to say who this is from? I'm not sure. I think it might be a secret. It's our little secret. Our little secret. I have a different bottle of Prime. This one is Oh, it don't say. Hang on a minute. Does it say on there? Ice pop. Is that the flavour? Ice pop. Maybe that's the flavour. So I've got one of these as well here tonight. I may not drink that tonight. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to have that one or not. Alrighty. So that's that. How did you do in the storm today, incidentally? Did the storm affect you where you were today here in the UK? Certainly here in Royal Berkshire, the old trees were moving away. I thought after the radio show this morning I was going to go up to the swimming pool and try and get back into swimming. But I'll be honest with you, after the show I kind of walked down and sort of thought, do you know what, I don't feel ready to go swimming yet. Which could be I didn't really want to go, but I don't think so. I didn't feel quite ready for swimming, so I went on a litter pick, which is a kind of lighter activity, because you kind of stroll along, you know, at your own pace and whatever. You don't feel rushed, especially if there's not someone behind you in the pool, you know, or you're trying to overtake someone. You see, the trouble is, when you get someone slow in the pool, you obviously go at one speed most of the time, yeah? There might be someone slower in the pool than you, but not that slow. And then to overtake them, it takes more effort and you have to speed up. And that's what takes the effort, you see. So I just went for a light litter pick and I ended up being out there for 3 hours today. I left the house around about 10:15. And I got back here around about 1:15 in the afternoon, which is unusual, which is actually a lot slower than I normally go. That being said, I did a little bit more what I call intensive litter picking, where I look in bushes. It's the second time in a row I've mentioned bushes this week, isn't it, that I've been in bushes. But I was in these bushes and pulling out. I found 3 gigantic gas bottles. They were enormous, not the little silver ones. You know, the ones that the kids are all sniffing them or breathing them in and making those funny voices like that. Is it? I think it makes the funny voices. Make that funny voices like that. Or is it a different sort of gas? I wouldn't know. I've never had the blooming stuff. Don't interest me. People suffocate with this stuff, you know. But these gas bottles are like that, and they're very heavy. And I found 3 of them in a bush next to the road. Now, I'm kind of wondering to myself, how did they take these things? Evening, Mikey Mike, evening. How did they take these things? You know, would someone, does anyone know about this? One of the younger people, perhaps, that actually do it, I don't know. But one of those very large gas bottles, and when I say large, it's probably the bottle of the size of one of those bottles of Coca-Cola. Maybe a bit longer and a bit thinner. So round about the same size as one of those, but much heavier. And there were 3 of these things chucked in the bush. And they weren't old, because they didn't have mud all over them, so they've only been there a few days, obviously. So my reckoning is that someone's come past in a car, or they've parked there. Now, let me think. Would they have parked there? No, I don't think they would have parked there, actually. No, because it's on kind of a corner of a main road. And it would be look a little bit dodgy if someone had actually stayed there. If you see what I mean. If they parked there, it's not a place where people stop. You know, it's got residential roads coming off it. But the actual road itself, people don't tend to stop there unless it's a bus or, you know, it's a bloke putting up posters in the bus stop. One of those they do usually late at night, sort of 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I've seen them doing it. And 3 large bottles, I'm thinking they've been chucked out of a car, right? But if the car can't have been moving, though, because there'd be one there, and one there. You know, you find this with cans of lager. Always. If you find 1 can of Foster's, there's probably another 5 further up the road. Unless they knock them back while driving. I'm sure they must be, right? They chuck them out the window. But I don't think that's going to be the case with these gas bottles, unless they stopped the car, lobbed them in the bush, and then drove off again. But I'm wondering, how long does one of those great big bottles last? Is that like 1 person for 1 night? Who knows? Anyone know the answer to that one? And they're heavy. Let me tell you, you got 1 of those, well, 2. If you got 2 of those in your litter bag, you've got to drop it off somewhere, because you can't It's just becomes too heavy to drag this bag along. That along with glass bottles and plastic bottles and tins and sweet wrappers and all those sort of things. So I was out there 3 hours today in the end, and I did I did 4 litre bags today. I did 2 yesterday as well. So I've been quite busy there. Tommy says, I just inhale the squirty cream in the can. It's not kind of the same thing, Tommy. You don't actually eat anything. You imagine that, Mark. You've got that great big thing and all the cream's coming out in your mouth. Oh, it's too much, isn't it, eh? Oh, no, very sickly. Very bad for the weight as well. Evening to fun things to do with tech. Says I use them for food, whipping cream. There you go. Mick says they fill balloons and then inhale it. Yeah, but there's no balloons this time. Usually you'll find some balloons close by unless they chuck them out elsewhere. But I would have found them because I do the whole road. Seriously, this road is a mile long. And I do the whole road and then I come back down the other way. Rob, what do you do with the rubbish bags? Do you leave them at the side of a council bin for them to take? Or do you bring them home and put them with your own bin for collection? No. I registered with the council about 3 years ago now. When you register, they send you bags. When you run out of bags, you tell them, and the bloke comes round, he just drops them outside, brings you a great big box of red bin bags. Okay? They're specific bin bag. And then when I fill a bag up, I drop it at a road sign. I take a photo, fill in a little form while I'm standing there. Don't take me long. Push send, and it comes back with we have received your report. And then a bloke comes round sometimes within an hour, sometimes within a day, sometimes within 2 or 3 days, depending where they are at the time. And he collects all the bags and chucks them in the back of one of those like cage lorry type things. And that's how it works. There's no money involved or anything like that. Funnily enough, a kid asked me today, he was only about 25. Oh, it was weird actually. It was about 25, this kid. He said, do you work for the council, mate? I said, no, I'm just bored. He said, oh, well done. Thanks very much, mate. And I get a lot of that. In all that time, no one has ever taken the piss, right? No one has ever taken the piss or said anything stupid or chucked a can out, obviously while you're doing it. I've only received nice comments. Now and again, you get a little bit of a hoot. Beep, beep. And I turn around and I think, oh, is that Mark Bowles hooting me? And it never is, sadly. But all sorts of people, the older people, like to stop and talk to you. That's quite nice, and they recognise you after a while. It's a bit of a social thing as well there going on. So that was one. And then a little bit later, I was on my kind of last leg now, coming back towards the house, coming down a road called Ringmead, Southfield Park as well is. And there's this young lad walking down who was about 20. And he stopped and looked at me. And as I picked something else, I put it in the bag. Hello, mate. I always say hello to people. Or if it's an old lady, hello, love. If it's a young lady, I don't bother. No, not really. Because they're just offended that you've dared to speak to them. Because they automatically assume that you fancy them. The young girls, no. Terrible. What is all that about? We haven't got any watching this show, I'm sure. We're talking anywhere between sort of 14 and 35, 40. The attitude on them, if you dare to speak to them, is terrible. So the older girls always say, all right, girls, like that. I speak to them like that. Hello, girls. All right, ladies. And they like to stop and have a bit of a conversation with you. In fact, the old men do as well. They like to have a conversation with you as well. But this lad, he was about 20. I said, you all right, mate? He said, oh, you never guess what? And I don't know who he was. Not a clue who this lad was. I said, what? He said, well, I'm supposed to be... This is bizarre. I'm supposed to be meeting my mates down at McDonald's in Mill Pond today. I said, and do you know what? I've just rung them and they haven't even left town yet. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. Well, what time have you got to meet them there? Well, it's supposed to be 12 o'clock and it's like 10 to now, he says. Oh, right, okay. And I can't remember what the conversation was after that. But eventually, he was chatting away to me. And I said, well, you better go. You know, you don't want to be late yourself. And if you get there before them, just order everything and eat it all before they get there. And then he says, what I might do is buy 5 loads of chips, eat them all before they get there, and then leave the packages there so that they can see them. Oh, right, okay then, mate. All right, well, I must go. I'll see you later. Okay, I'll see you later. Thanks, mate. Bye. And off he went. God. Perhaps he'd just been doing the gas. Perhaps he'd just been sniffing the old gas from maybe that was one of his bottles up there. I don't know. Absolutely bizarre. I don't know who he was. And funnily, I was on the phone to my mate at the time, Ronnie, who was at his house, and he said, who's that? I said, I ain't got a clue. Not a clue. He just started talking for some reason. Perhaps he was lonely. Excuse me. Oh, a little bit of a cough there. Thank you. Mark Bowles has promised that he will give me a toot if he ever sees me. Thank you, Mark. I do hope so. I do hope so. Gary Ross, do a live 10-hour stream on camera looking at your Easter egg, then eat the egg afterwards. Oh, come on, Gary. Dear me. No one wants to see these things, dear. It's only you going on these live streams in the hope that there's going to be someone talking in the chat box. That's all it is. Except there isn't, because no one watches my shows, as you well know. Evening to George Bond. He's liking the new backdrop. Is this the first time you've seen it, George? Blimey, you've been away a long time, haven't you? It's been up there a few weeks now, mate. Do pay full attention to the sale. How's your DJing going, George? I hope that's going all right. Shania says, excuse me, I am a very friendly person at 26 years of age. Ah, yeah, but you're not like the other girls, Shania. You're proper, love. You're proper. You're proper. You know how to act. You wouldn't be at a performance of Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard and start singing along. Did you see that? How rude! Do people not know how to act in public now? Answer, no. A lot of them don't. I loved it. Did you see all the TikTok videos? Various people with their phones filming these 2 old bags being dragged out of the theatre, kicking and screaming. I love it, dear. Not a clue. None of you lot would do that, would you? You wouldn't stand there at the cinema. You know, Mark Bowles, for example, you wouldn't come to the cinema with me and sit there watching a film and start screaming and shouting suddenly, would you? Unless something nice was happening. You just wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Rob, you need to be asking Mark Bowles if it can... I can't read sort of things like that. Dear, Mark, people are being rude now, love. They're being rude. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just scroll down here. Thank you, Vera, for that little face this evening. It might be a mushroom. I'm looking at a different message system as well, and it's all a bit gone wrong today. Hello to Claire Amble. Evening, Claire. Welcome along to our little show. Whereabouts are you, Claire? And Vera says she stayed in during the storm today. Too many trees. Dangerous, darling. Danger! 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 Yeah, watch out for all that, darling. Thank you, Vera. George has been busy being a DJ. Excellent, George. Glad to hear it. It's always good to keep busy, my darling. Let's just jump over there and see what we got there. Rob has a habit of making random conversations with people. Well, I do it. I do it, but generally not with someone sort of that age. They're usually 50 and over, to be honest. While I'm walking around... Hello, mate. There's a particular man, I think he's Japanese. He's quite old. He's about 70. Always stops to have a conversation and tell me how disgusting people are dropping their crap all over the place. I mean, when I say it's a problem, 4 bags of stuff today. 4 bags. The funny thing is, some of the litter is lottery tickets. And you're kind of wondering, are people trying to win lottery tickets so that they can move out of an area where there's lots of rubbish? And if so, why bother doing that when you can keep your own area nice and clean? Someone on my corner, I don't know if they're doing it purposely, almost every day now, I find an empty can of that Red Bull stuff. Well, I hope their teeth drop out. I really hope their teeth drop out their heads. Tommy says it's lovely to talk to someone new. Yeah, it is. And you know what? If anyone tries to strike up a decent conversation with me, then I'll usually go along with it. Sometimes I'm at work. If I'm at work, people, nice people, try and strike up a conversation with me. But I'm at work, you know, and I can't stop doing what I'm doing to listen to you. If you see what I mean. Happens all the time. Like I'm up in kind of on a bit of a stage, right? And I'm working buttons. I'm trying to listen to the music. I'm trying to listen to the microphones, and someone's trying to have a conversation down the front. And while you're doing it, they're shouting louder and louder because you're not giving them attention. Well, if I stop doing stuff, the whole night stops. You know, and it becomes a bit difficult. But even when I'm going around doing the litter, I love it, stopping and having conversations with people. You're talking about all sorts of stuff there. You know, let me scroll up quickly there and see what we got. Daniel Woodhouse says, I know a lot of people like that. They say something like WTF. Dear. Gary Ross is talking about prices of stuff there. The black bags in Home Bargains these days are expensive. 20 bags for about £3.80, and they get damaged and tear easily. Do you know, funny you should say that, Gary. I've noticed that with black bags. They've got expensive and all now, haven't they? Even the ones in Aldi used to get 20 bags for like 80 pence or something ridiculous like that, wasn't it? Oh, dear. Do you remember when all the rubbish bags were the same colour? Black. Yeah, but then you couldn't separate stuff out, could you? You know? One of those things there. OE says, is it Omar? Are you Omar? I think you're Omar, aren't you? People make a lot of dough selling the gas outside clubs. I think they sell the little ones. We're not talking about those little silver ones. These are industrial sized things. You know. People are doing their lungs in, but there you go. I suppose is it the young person's equivalent of us when we used to get drunk? You know, or me when I used to get off me head at raves. Is that their thing? If you see what I mean. Yeah, difficult to know, innit? I don't know how much they need. No one's answered that question, so I guess none of you know really. How much gas does it take to get something out of them? Do they do this whole canister of gas? Or you know, I found 3 of them. Is that for one person, or was there a group of people? And I don't know. Do they share it around like one of those dodgy cigarettes that stink? Can't bear it. I don't know. Mark, I can't say who's being rude. I don't want to upset you, my love. I don't want you to go into attack mode, darling. You know, calm down, Mark. See, I've had to calm down Mark for you, that person who made that rude remark. I'm not going to read out his name. Rob Shaggy Kershaw. It'd been a bit rude, darling. Asking personal questions. I do hate that, people asking personal questions, don't you? Mark, but I don't understand this joke. I'd be too busy cutting a hole in the bottom of the popcorn box. Well, you'd drop all your popcorn off your lap. We'd have to eat it off there then. Honestly. Okay. Where's young Claire? Claire's there. Claire's in Normington. Where is that, Normington? Oh, I'm going to look that up. Normington. I've never heard of that. Normington. Anyone heard of Normington? Let's have a look. Normington. Great. No. Oh, no. No Normington there. I don't know where that is. Is it a Normington map, maybe? Let's see where that is. I've never heard of Normington. Mishaps. No, they're just names. Images for Normington map. Michelin. Normington map. Here we go. Hang on a minute. Normington. Accept and close. Is in WF. Are you Yorkshire? Is that Yorkshire, Normington? Oh, it's a lovely part of the world, Yorkshire. Actually, next week I'm up in Norwich. I'm at the there'll be no video shows next week. I'll be up at Wild Duck Haven Holidays with my nephew and his family. So I'm very much looking forward to that, Claire. Yeah, it looks all right. Normington, if that's in the countryside, is it? Hope you had a nice time there. Mark J made a friend on the train 3 weeks ago. Now I talk to her every Wednesday. See? It's all about talking to people. You sit there with your head stuck down in your mobile phone all the time. Oh, I ain't going to talk to anyone. There's people like that who come to the karaoke. I kid you not. You know, they come and sing their song and then they go back to their table. There might be several people on the table and that's it. Head straight down onto the mobile phone. Oh, there's no one talking to me. Surprise, surprise. Fran. I stopped in the van today, Vera. It was blowing hailstones. Do you know what? When you lose your ear, like ear, right? Hailstones are extremely painful, as some of the bald fellas will tell you. They really hurt. Thank you, John, for following the show today, John. Thank you. Poor Jason got caught out in a hailstone as well. Let's have a look. Right, okay. We've done that one there. And Omar, there's Omar. It was good to see you at karaoke Friday night. Yes, it was. He was down there, sitting at the front with his missus. My missus' sisters was visiting London and she enjoyed it. I'm glad she did, Omar. But no singing. No singing from you, darling. We've been having some very good karaokes, actually. A hell of a lot of new faces in it. I don't know where they're coming from, to be honest. A lot of new faces turning up at the moment, which is always nice to welcome new people, as well, of course, as the regulars as well, such as Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. She doesn't like not to be mentioned, so there we are. All right, Vera. She works hard. Now, listen. Do you want to go and work for the King, His Royal Majesty? There is a job for you, boys and girls. Who wants to work for the King? Oh, I can hear the non-workers now. Oh, do I have to get up before 11? I don't know if I want to do that. I got a bad back. I can't work. I've got a bad back. No, my back's very bad. I can't work. You know how I feel about this sort of thing, dear, right? There are people with genuine bad backs. There are other people who play on it and then they get the videos out, don't they? The government departments get their cameras out and start videoing people working on people's roofs or fixing cars, that sort of thing. And then they go, you get the letter. Please come into the office. And that's it. You get done. Good. Illegally working for other people. Don't think you'll get away with it. They get them all in the end, dear. I love it. There's nothing better than I love to hear the story of some scallywag who's been defrauding the government, the taxpayer, and therefore me out of my hard-earned tax money by claiming benefits when they're working on a roof, in a car, in a shop, wherever. Dodgy work. Yes, I love it when they get dragged out. Anyway, if you are a nice person and you want to work, there's a job going with King Charles. God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save the King. Send him victorious. How is it 9:45? God, I feel like I could go on for 3 hours, but the tips are very lacking, so I won't. King Charles is hiring a new assistant private secretary. Yeah, this could be you. It needs to be someone loyal to the country. Yeah, Gary Ross, you're loyal to the country. Yes, this is the perfect job for you, guy. Mark! Oh, my God. Oh, you've made me sweat. Mark, honestly. If I was on the BBC, Mark, would you still be sending me these messages? Me on the BBC. Never in a million years. I mean, I was on for 2 minutes, of course. Or was it 3 minutes? About 3 years ago on BBC One Look North, as most of you know. They didn't ask me back. King Charles is hiring a new assistant private secretary to beef up his advisory team. And the successful candidate will get paid £80,000 a year. Thank you very much. Ring! £80,000. Can't moan at that, can you? £80,000. What have you got to do for that? The private secretary's office acts as the primary source of advice to His Majesty the King in his role as head of state and head of nation, the advert on the royal website explains. Advice relates to constitutional, governmental and political affairs, including those affected in the 15 realms in which His Majesty is head of state and in the 54 countries of the Commonwealth of which the King is head. So there we go, Gary. A job for you, possibly. Or anyone else that wants to work? Anyone else that wants... no. I keep getting headaches. I can't work. Oh, no. It's too much. Oh, cash in hand job. Yeah, I'll go and do that. Anyway, it's also responsible for policy guidelines on matters concerning the King's role in relation to the Church of England and the Church of Scotland. There you go. Is that tempting anyone? A job out with King Charles. What do you reckon, eh? Rob likes the blue egg. Thank you. There you go. That will be sampled before the end of the show. I did promise Oliver, which may or may not be watching the show tonight, that I would try it there, okay? Now, what have I locked up? Rob, message from Mark Bowles. You're taking over the show today, Mark. I don't know what that is. Mark says, tell Mark it was more of a compliment to him and not meant to be offensive. He should be happy to be a two-hander. Oh, well, come from two-hander, honestly. Thank you very much. These messages are outrageous tonight, I tell you. Because Mark sends me private messages, dear. I can't read them out. I don't dare. Perhaps I could cut and paste them and put one on my Facebook wall and wait for someone to be offended. I like that. Incidentally, I have done a little new TikTok video, okay? Those of you got my TikTok username is Chris Reardon UK. There's a new little video there that I've done tonight. I haven't done one for ages. Where's Vera? There's... Vera says, I'm not sitting on anyone's lap as a secretary. Well, you didn't seem to do too bad with Enrique Iglesias that you told me about earlier, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air. I'm going to take a risk today and play your jingle, Vera. Are you ready, darling? Are you ready? Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning.
Vera's Choice in the Morning. Reach on air.
They are, Vera. All right. Hello to Jamie. That's E there. Is it E's there on Mr. Mayor, is it? Hello to E. Wants to say hello to his friend Mr. Mayor. So hello to you, E. Welcome along to our little show. It's nothing serious, mate. I don't do serious. I did try serious a few years ago, but it didn't suit me at all. Thank you very much. Mark is laughing his head off today. Yes, you won't be laughing by the time I finish with you. Release the... What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Release the purple warrior. I don't know what that means. I really don't want that means. Yeah, I'm Mick Davenport. I love to work, but I make too much money on benefits. You're a bleeding liar, Mick, because you're disabled, and I know it. You're a liar. You are someone that can't work. I know that. I love to work, but I make too much money in benefits. That's when I'm not on the phone to the DWP for 4 hours. Yeah, they don't make it easy for, what do you call it, official disabled people, do they? I know that. I know that for a fact, yeah. Let me just scroll up a little bit here, my darlings. Okay, you're talking about the gas there. 1 minute. Carmel's there. Hello, Carmel. Beautiful Carmel. I went to primary school with her. The Sacred Heart School. Yes. Sister Frances. And before her, Miss Murphy. Do you remember Miss Murphy? Miss Murphy. Sister Frances. Do you know much about Sister Frances at all? I spoke to a lady up at the convent, a nun up at the convent, up at Roehampton High Street a couple of months ago. They were having a problem with their organ, and I went up to have a look at it. I couldn't repair it. I tried. it's making an awful noise. I understood that it was an oiling thing. We kept oiling where we thought the problem was. Or where I thought the problem was, because I looked it up on YouTube. We didn't manage to get it on. I believe Sister Frances either had got dementia and died, or is still alive with dementia. Sister Frances, she was our headmistress. Sister Hanny, of course. Sister Hanny, remember her? She did the music, didn't she? Mr. Makin, and my favourite teacher. I was teacher's pet, Miss Eaton. Do you remember Miss Eaton, Carmel? Anyway, Carmel says the gas kids. I like it. The gas kids. That's what we call them. The gas kids normally let it into a balloon, then inhale it from there, apparently. Yeah, but I couldn't see one of those anywhere. Mick says they do 1 canister per person a day. You're not talking about the little silver ones, are you, Mick? You're talking about the big ones, aren't you? Eh? What type of gas is it in them bottles, says Tommy. I believe it's laughing gas. Now, is laughing gas like the gas that makes your voice go like that? Or is that a different gas? I don't know. I've often seen people do it with that gas that makes your voice go up. And they've often offered it to me, but I just don't like the idea of breathing something in that you're not supposed to be breathing in, like cigarette smoke, for example. Fun thing to do with tech, says gas freezes lungs and will make you high for about 3 minutes, but too much will take away your oxygen and presumably suffocate you, wouldn't it? You know? Mick, using the gas and balloons is called doing smart whip. Okay, I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Jason says let them inhale as much gas as they like. When they've had too much and pass out, don't wake them up, then tough. I don't know about that. I think I'd probably try and help someone if they were passed out somewhere. You know, unless I was on my way home to watch a good programme on the television, which I'll just leave them there. Thank you very much. Fun thing to do with tech as spina bifida. He's in pain 24 hours a day. Awful. Actually, my local priest, Father Danny, he's got that fibro thing, and often you can see he's in pain all the time. Awful if you are. Nothing could take my back pain away. Some days it's so bad, so that's why you can't. Well, you don't have to tell me. You know, spina bifida is very painful. Actually, who's someone else like that? We have a presenter on Reach on Air who's got a little bit of a problem like that. I can't think of his name at the moment. And he does his radio show and he's very good. Very good. It was, yes, Sister Frances did pass away, did she? Yes. Sad ending, you know. She was all right, Sister Frances. She was our headmistress at Sacred Heart in Roehampton. Yeah. Sad. So it's the big ones that these kids get through one of those great big bottles every day. Can you even believe that? Shocking. Here we are. One's helium. The two gases. One is helium. That's right. That's the one that you make the funny noise with your voice, isn't it? And the other one is nitrous oxide. So it's not the same thing at all. Different things altogether. There you go, Mark Jones. The gas that makes your voice go high, the pitch, is helium. Thank you very much. Hello to Joe Ewing. Welcome along, Joe. Welcome along to the show. Now, what's the time? 5:02. 1 moment. Let me just refer to this. We're going to do this egg thing now because I do want to try this egg before we finish up. I can't believe we've sat here for an hour today. That's gone really quick, isn't it? Very, very quick today. Do that. A very, very sticky start to the show today. I thought lots of things going wrong, wasn't there? There we are. Nitro oxide is not... is it nitrous oxide? Not good if you take too much of that. Thank you very much. I've just gone across to a different chat box. Do you know all your names are in different colours now? Isn't that funny? All these people's names are in different colours. That's pretty. Did you choose those colours yourself? How does that work? There we are. Caramel. It's what they use at Starbucks for their coffee machines, this gas. It's very, very dangerous. I'm sure it is. You wouldn't catch me doing anything like that anyway. I'm too old to be doing all that sort of stuff anyway nowadays, I reckon. Right, shall we try this lovely egg as provided to us by the lovely Oliver? I am intrigued. Look at the size of this. Look. I'm intrigued to see how big this egg actually is. Don't forget, gang, no video shows at all next week. I will be trying to do my morning music and chat show, as in Reach on Air. Okay? It depends. I'll do a quick test on Monday afternoon when I get up to the holiday site, and if the speed is okay, we'll be with you Tuesday. There will be radio shows next week, though, hopefully. Definitely Monday, hopefully Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right the way through, but not the nighttime shows, because I shall be being entertained by the Haven staff and my lovely family. Thank you very much. Right. Now, how much is this beautiful box, and how much is the egg? Yes, please, Mummy. Blue Lind eggs. Egg! Oh, how disappointing is that? Look. Thieving bastards. Look, it's cardboard, dear. It's all cardboard, look. I thought it was a great big egg, but mustn't be ungrateful. Thank you very much, Oliver. Yes. And we've got little chocolates there, little box of chocolates at the top here. If only I could share them with you, but I can't. Is there a show tomorrow morning? No show tomorrow morning, incidentally, because Elliot the plumber's coming. Yes, please. Not as nice as Mark Bowles. Bit too young, really. He's only about 25. Oh, there's a decent amount of little chocolates in here, look. Now, hang on a minute. I'll take that back. That's actually full up with chocolates. Not like one or two in there. That's full up with chocolates. I wonder what these are like. Is anyone's mouth leaking saliva now? Are you leaking anything at all at the moment, Mark? Oh. They are delicious. Oh my God. That is absolutely delicious. I wonder what the egg's like. Oliver. Oh my God, this is just delicious. Oh, I've dropped chocolates. Oh, don't tell my mate about this. He comes round and nicks stuff. Seriously, you think I'm bloody joking? Envelopes, batteries, you show him a packet. Oh, can I have a couple of those? Oh, can I have a couple of envelopes? Oh, have you got any stamps? I have to hide everything. So don't you dare tell him that I've opened this. Don't! I'll have to throw away the packaging. My dad used to do that when my mum went out to work. When Dad had retired, if I was at home, Mum would go to work. She had a little part-time job that she liked to do at Digby Stewart College, as you know, Carmel. And when she'd gone, he'd go down the baker's, Coombs the baker's, weren't it? Coombs the baker's. And he'd get donuts, sit there, eat the donuts, and then he'd take the bag to the chute so that it wouldn't be in our bin. Look at this! Look at this egg! It needs fertilising, Mark. Right, hang on a minute. Right, hang on. How am I going to do this? Just don't come apart. So it's going to have to be smashed. Oh, there we go. Oh, I say. That is absolutely lovely. Fran Green texting him. We had the same salted caramel Lindor at Christmas. They were yummy. Oh, this is delicious. I'm going to go downstairs and watch a bit of telly now. I do. I need a cup of tea with this. Oh, that's lovely. Right, I'm going. Oh. How delicious was that, eh? Oh. Well, I don't want to eat too much of that because I'll get a dodgy stomach before I go to bed. But I shall have a cup of tea and now watch some telly. Thanks for joining us on the show on this Wednesday night. Now, the next Wednesday night chat show is in 2 weeks' time on Wednesday the 3rd of May. All right? Why is that? Various holidays and other little bits and pieces going on. Thanks so much for watching today. I'll see you again very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Cheerio now.